Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trubisky now off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Caught by Montgomery. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Alert! 54! Mike 54! It's him! It's a party!
Throwing again on second down. Trubisky gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. On the return, it's James. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Mullins and the Niners now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards, 1st down Niners.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
58, come on. Watch the slant.
2nd and 14. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play, because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
No, fine.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Trubisky. He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Good on. 180. Check. Good move.
On 1st down, Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Check it. 18.
Now Trubisky to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football, and that is scooped up by the 49ers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
On 1st down, here's Love. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They come out here in the I. Kelly to try to punch it in. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. John Kelly, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
At the 28-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, B, let's go.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
You can't block me.
Now it's Trubisky. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give running right is Love. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll set up a throw. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Love. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Set, ready, 8, read.
Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, lock it.
Check 37. Check 37.
Now.
Back to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Don't get nervous.
2nd and 9 now. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Niners 7, Bears nothing.
Ready.
58, come on. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
They'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
58, boys, 58.
On the draw, this is Love. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the 12-yard line.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Out of the end zone. Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
The Niners on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now back to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll set up to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
58 right there. I got you. I got you, son. I got you, son.
Deep grip.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Coming to you. Coming to you.
Mullins now, 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
80 weapon.
Hit the
Hey, wahoo!
They can't hang with us. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
Five.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Trubisky will throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Back to throw. He's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Mullins now, 9 of 17 through the air. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is born. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. He'll look to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Yeah.
58, right over there.
On 3rd down, here's Love. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think now Trubisky lost the football?
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run again with Love on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw, and he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
15 Ronnie. 15 Ronnie.
Looking to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Check hot route. Hot.
He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Love. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 25-yard line.
Ready, set.
45. Mike, 45.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
On second down, Love. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, Kelly. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
First down, Bears.
Trubisky now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here.
Lock in, lock in.
Now it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. 12 yards on the return that time, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack there by Roquan Smith. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Get it.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Give me that ball, defense.
Ready?
They'll set up a throw. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
First down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Let's go now. 30 base. Check 45, somebody. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 45. Mike, 45.
Yeah.
Back to throw here. That is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
First down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll look to throw again. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. The point after is good, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Bears nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Set, ready? 60 or.
All day, punk.
Fire.
On 2nd down now, it's Love. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 34.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
You better be afraid.
7 consonants, 1 vowel. Here's Juszczyk. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Mullins on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Ready up.
At the 20-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Head up.
And they take a knee.
Mullins on the keeper.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Ready.
And they will take a knee here.
Mullins on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Okay, ready?
58, the mic. You remember me? You remember me?
Yeah.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. Some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
SOS.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
180.
Mike, 58, right there. Come on.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will take over at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Check pass, check pass.
Lead grip.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mullins on the field.
Got it.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So the victory here for San Francisco, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the 49ers, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And